The thing that I actually want to talk about is how this impulse of idealism and righteousness that, you know, any fine young gentleman like myself probably feels to a very large degree, how that impulse basically leads to absolutely nothing. It just gets intellectualized into, you know, oh, maybe this ideology is correct. Maybe monarchism is the solution and it'll finally save the West. No, or no, you need to look smacks. You need to look smacks to finally save the West. Like, whatever fucking narrative people come up with, right? It doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to anything getting done in the real world. Like, it's just self referential, if you know what I mean. Like, all the energy that gets put into explaining what's wrong with the world, whether it's about dating, politics, you fucking name it, right? All the energy that goes into explaining it and making content about it, it doesn't really seem to correspond to anything in the actual real world. Like I remember in like 2023, 24, people talking about how things are so bad, the civil war in the US, it's going to happen any second, dude. And then everything will be amazing afterward because my ideology is going to win. You know that kind of delusional shit. And the reality is people being unhappy by itself doesn't change anything at all. So in this video, I'm going to talk about specifically how to take that anger, that frustration, that pain that you've likely just fucking endured your whole life and actually turn it into something real, and how to actually manifest it in reality without it being just this fucking idiotic, like childish power fantasy. So let me just tell you what the standard paradigm is. What's the standard way that an average frustrated person like me tends to interact with this whole domain of ideology and thinking about the bigger picture? So you watch these videos, right? And you learn, oh my god, we're all so powerless and we've been wrong by this shitty world that we live in. So what we need to do before we've literally accomplished a single fucking thing, we're all going to discuss in an insane level of detail what's the absolute ideal and perfect solution. Do we need a anarcho-capitalist monarchy? Is that what it's going to take? Or do we perhaps need an anarcho-capitalist oligopoly? Who the fuck knows? But once we discuss it, once we figure it out, you can't even imagine the fucking paradise we're gonna live in, bro. In practice, this just ends up turning into these endless disagreement, these endless arguments. Maybe I'll post some screenshots, or I'll put screenshots on the screen, but I probably won't because it's just so fucking cringe. So, what I'm describing here is obviously pretty fucking retarded. Like this mentality is basically like it's predetermined that it just leads to these endless discussions of things that don't even fucking matter. Like who cares if some fucking guy that watches anime all day thinks that monarchism is cool? It's just so inconsequential. And I mean, deep down, everyone knows that it's inconsequential. But just by engaging with the content, right, it obviously gives you some small glimmer of hope that someone somewhere out there is plotting to fix everything. And all you have to do is you just wait for enough frustration and pain to build up. And then, dude, the people are gonna rise up, dude. It's gonna be epic, and the system's gonna fall. We're gonna have a revolution. Oh my god, dude. And yeah, you get the point. This is just a cycle. And anyone who thinks that all it takes is more pain for things to get better, like I'm sorry, but you're fucking like you've actually lost your mind. So, that being said, what is the actual solution? Because of course I have a solution. As I said, I'm a fine gentleman. I wouldn't discuss these things if I was just complaining, right? But if you want to understand it, you need to zoom way out. Like, I can give you some checklist of beliefs, and if you also believe the same things as me, and, then you and me and whoever else happens to watch this video and wants to, join forces or whatever the fuck. Like, what I have in mind kind of goes beyond rational explanation, if that makes any sense to you. It goes beyond using words to morally justify your actions. It goes beyond, we are the organization of X, Y, and Z, and we stand for this thing and that thing. It goes beyond literally even rational thought. For example, a huge part of why there's zero grassroots organizations of like young people trying to fight for what they want, it's literally just because of our social instincts and how fucking insanely depleted they are. Because think about it, all you learn in kindergarten and the rest of the school system, and by extension the rest of your life, is that you have zero agency. The teachers giving you orders also have zero agency. Like what happens on a day-to-day basis is determined by the fucking, by the Ministry of Education. They couldn't change anything if they wanted to. But you have breaks. You have breaks, you have free time, and in that free time, you can in theory do whatever you want. In practice, what it means though is that you're kind of just hanging out and having fun with the people around you. If even that, maybe you're too intelligent to be mingling with the normies like I was. But even if you fit into the groups, it's just this low stakes behavior of, it's called hanging out for a reason. Like it's a completely directionless way of being around other people. So the only way of processing like human connection, human friendship, is purely through this like low agency lens. And sure, we can all point to it and say, yeah, and this is bad, but 95% of people that grew up, especially in a city, this is all you know. Like, just because you grew up in this system and you understand that it's bad and why it's bad, and you feel the frustration like really deeply of being bossed around by people with zero sense of creativity, it doesn't mean you magically understand how to fix it. Like think about it realistically. If the big solution to all the fucking things was right in front of you, probably you just feel like super awkward and confused, because all you realistically know is how to be this like overgrown child where you go to work or you go to school, you fulfill your tasks, then you go home and you do your screen activities or you do something with your friends, and then you go back to work and that's it. Let me give you one more example. So you see me sewing here, right? And part of my plan is that in the audience there's going to be some people that I actually would get along with. And so I want to meet these people, obviously. And, they can come here, I'll show them how to do all this, because I don't want to hire fucking randoms to grow my business. Like why? Unironically, why? Like, I want to spend my time around actually cool people that have the same drive, the same ambition as me, not fucking normies, right? Like, I've spent more than enough of my life around normal people. There's also tax advantages, obviously, if you have friends working for you that can work partially off the books. But that's a story for another time. Also, I wouldn't do that, obviously, because, that's illegal, and doing things that are illegal is a terrible thing. Shakes me to my core even thinking about it, honestly. Let's just say that this is only a very small part of my bigger plans. Anyway, just ask yourself, what ideology, like what I just talked about, what ideology does that resemble? Fucking none of them. Like even though this gives me an advantage in every possible way, and I can help people that I care about, if you ask like a socialist or an anarchist or a fucking esoteric Starmerist, which is the best ideology by far, obviously, what they think about all this, like all of them would just go like, yeah, that's cool, that's nice, cool things that you're making, nice. Now you might be asking yourself, like, okay, so you're gonna have a business with some friends and you're gonna fucking accomplish these grandiose goals that you might have. Yeah. As I said, if I could explain these things quickly, I would, but not everything can actually be explained with words. That's how I'll put it. Anyway, I'll end the video here. I'll upload again at some point, don't worry. As time goes on, and hopefully I get more viewers, more people get an idea of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, like specifically, um, fine things should happen. So until then, hopefully.